In qualitative research and thematic analysis, a matrix coding query can be a powerful tool that will help you explore differences and compare coding between different participants based on their individual characteristics such as gender, age, level of experience, role, or any other characteristic. So you can quickly compare, for example, how often people talked about a certain topic, how men and women defined a certain phenomenon, how people experience or didn't experience abuse in their workplace depending on their role, or any other comparison that you want to explore. I use matrix coding queries all the time, and in this video I'll show you how to use NVivo to run a matrix coding query, and then I'll show you how to use free tools, AI tools such as ChatGPT or Claude for the same purpose. Then at the end I'll show you an experiment that I conducted just to compare the outputs of matrix coding query generated by NVivo and ChatGPT, just to be sure that you can use these AI tools to produce analysis that's actually valid and credible. By the way, this video is sponsored by aidetector.com, an AI detection tool that achieves reliability by including results from several AI detection tools. Probably often heard me say that constant updates lead to discrepancies between results from different AI detection tools. So here you can basically address this issue by triangulating the results of several AI detection tools. It also has other useful options such as fact-checking your text, because we all know that AI likes to come up with claims that are simply not true. If you're interested in exploring this tool, feel free to follow the links in the description. And now let's get back to the video. So before I dig deeper into a matrix coding query, as a background to this video, we're conducting a study, an example study of women's experiences in the workplace. Specifically, we have 4 transcripts. We have 4 women, 2 of them have ADHD, 2 of them have autism. We're interested in how these women with these neurodiversities are experiencing abuse in their workplace. And a matrix coding query is something that specifically helps us with this goal, because, as I said earlier, is the kind of analysis that helps you compare coding for different groups of participants, for different participants, different transcripts. To run this query, one thing you do need to have is coding, whether you're using NVivo or ChatGPT, and I'll walk you through the process, because we'll be comparing coding and we'll be counting the number of codes, the coding frequencies between different participants. And the second component that you need to run this query are individual attributes. These could be gender, years of experience, age, anything that you decide to compare in your study. But in our study, we're comparing ADHD and autism. These are our attributes. Or to be precise, an attribute is the condition. The value that it can take is either ADHD or autism. And as you can see on my screen, in a second I'll walk you through the process for how to achieve this. But here we're looking at different types of abuse, such as gaslighting and manipulation, making assumptions, open criticism, social exclusion, and we can quickly compare the coding frequency for different groups. So ADHD right here and autism right here. And in addition to just looking at these numbers and possibly drawing some conclusions, you can also open each of these numbers. You can click on any of these numbers, and for example, you can quickly gain access to all quotes that have to do with gaslighting and manipulation for ADHD participants. So here I can read all 3 quotes from my data. So that's another way in which I use this matrix coding query, why it's useful, because at some point as you're coding, as you're analyzing your data, you may have many more quotes. This is just an example study, this is just an example matrix coding query, but you could have 70 or 80 different quotes here. So it's just a useful tool also for separating quotes for different participants. If I want to quickly just see what children said in my study, or what parents said in my study, or teachers or students, or whatever it is that you're exploring, I can create this kind of a table and then quickly separate these quotes and just go to one specific group and one specific topic, such as what you can see here, gaslighting, manipulation, just for our autism participants. And again, I can double click, read all the comments. So this is how we can use this query. But also, as you can imagine, we can make conclusions based on just these numbers. We can start talking about how the different condition, people with different condition experience different kind of abuse, or how people with different gender experience something in our study. So any sort of analysis, sometimes you don't even have to do it at the end, although usually I do apply it at the end when I have my final themes or something that resembles my final themes. But sometimes you can also apply it earlier when you have your codes, and specifically when you're looking for themes and you're not sure which direction to go. You can apply this kind of a query, and sometimes based on these insights, I start seeing something important in my data. Because, for example, I can see that a certain group of participants reports certain experience much more often. And then again, remember, I want to stress again that when I say they report something, the only way I can reach this conclusion is if I have coding for these participants, and then I just see that coding on a certain topic appears more often than coding on another topic. So how do you conduct this query in NVivo? So that's the first part of this video, and later I'll talk to you about how to use AI tools to conduct a matrix coding query. But first, NVivo. If you have access to NVivo, I'll show it on my screen now. Feel free to pause it if it's too fast for you, or just ask me questions or reach out directly through email and ask me if you're not sure about the process. But generally, the process of creating a matrix coding query in NVivo involves several steps. First, you need to turn your files or your participants, your transcripts, into cases and assign them to a certain classification, which is generally a term for grouping your participants. I usually just call it a person or something, or a case or a participant. Classifications are not important, it's just part of the process. Weird part of the process. You have to first assign them to this case classification. So essentially create your participants as cases. And once you create your participants as cases, you're starting to create new attributes. Attributes are the characteristics. So gender can be an attribute, and values would be, for example, male and female. So in our study, I created an attribute that I called condition, and then two values, ADHD and autism. And then you open a classification sheet, which is basically a table that shows you this classification and all the attributes and values and your participants, and you have to manually decide which participant has which condition. And then in NVivo, from the Explore menu at the top, you go into matrix coding query, and then you basically decide what goes into each column of the table, because the output, as you've already seen, is a table. So you drag all your codes that you want to explore in that particular query into one of the columns. This is what I did. I dragged all the different types of abuse that I created. So of course I coded this data. I then went through different stages, through initial coding, focus coding, creating themes. I also have videos where I specifically explain how to do this, so feel free to watch that if you're confused about different stages of coding. But the point is, I already had my final themes, and I wanted to explore the different types of abuse that people experience in their workplace. So I drag them to one of my columns, and then in the other column you decide which values, which attributes and which values will be included in this matrix coding query. And by the way, I've been using the terms in a very confusing way. I just realized, of course, it's columns and rows. So in the rows at the moment, I have the different types of abuse. In the columns, I have ADHD and autism. So that's what I decided to do. And then I run the query to see what we're seeing. You can, in NVivo, you can change different colors of this output if you wish, but you don't have to. So basically the result is the table that I showed you. But now, if you don't have NVivo, or you don't have access to NVivo, so you know my opinion about NVivo. If you've been following me, I use NVivo in my analysis. I always use it as my favorite tool, but some people don't have access to it. Usually you do through your university, but if you don't, it can be quite a expensive, quite a costly tool. So what are the alternatives? So now I want to talk about using AI, specifically ChatGPT, for this purpose, for generating a matrix coding query. You can also use Claude or any other AI. Again, I have videos where I talk about using ChatGPT for coding, and then I have a more recent video where I talk about using Claude for coding. I do strongly recommend that you watch that video because it's quite up to date, it's recent. I talk about different levels of autonomy that you can have. So it's absolutely not taking shortcuts. It's absolutely not just using AI to do your work for you. It's actually being in charge of the process and using these AI tools just as another tool, just as you're using NVivo for data analysis. So you can absolutely do it in an ethical and responsible way that maintains academic integrity. So long story short, as I explained in this other video, I won't be going into the detail of coding, of prompting in this particular video, but you can see that I did explain that I attached an interview transcript. I explained my approach to coding. Detailed descriptive codes is what I want, and I just asked ChatGPT to code my data for me. And then as a result, we have this kind of a Word file. I asked it to create a Microsoft Word file where we have text on the left, codes on the right. It did take some shortcuts. It started to explain itself that it's not as detailed as it would normally be. I want it to be detailed, so normally I would probably ask it to do it again and generate a more detailed one. But the point is, again, this is just for presentation purposes. So this is what I would do, and then I would just insert interview number 2, interview number 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So just ask it to code each transcript separately, because as I usually explain, I don't like to do chunks, and I don't like to do all transcripts at once, because I just don't think it will be as detailed as it will be if you asked to code one transcript at a time. So then as a result of this process, I have 4 transcripts. And then what I do is this instruction. So I explain that I attach these these codes, and I said, do a matrix coding query like in NVivo. It will be a table, and the columns will be ADHD and autism, and the rows are different types of abuse that women with these conditions face in the workplace. By the way, don't forget to explore my website for the different types of support that I can offer, including one-to-one Zoom tutorials, data analysis services where I analyze your data and produce a report of the findings for you, as well as a number of other services, including AI editing, AI humanizing services, monthly webinars and workshops, and many more. So I explained what I want from this matrix coding query, and this is what it did. So it created this table. You can see similar to what we had in NVivo, except that it also grouped these different types, these descriptive codes. It grouped them into something more of a theme. So you can see there are only 5 more general categories. So workplace discrimination and unequal treatment, gaslighting, psychological manipulation, verbal abuse and degrading treatment, physical threat and or abuse. You can see that in NVivo I had more descriptive and more different, more specific types of abuse. Here it initially did have this sort of codes, but then when I asked it to conduct this query, it decided to combine them into something that's a little bit more inclusive and general. Nevertheless, it looks pretty good. Underneath you have interpretation, so it does talk about some major differences, which can be useful. It can give you some additional ideas, so I'm pretty happy with that. But then remember what I showed you in NVivo. One of the purposes of this query is specifically to be able to look into the data and also compare the different quotes, because that's always the central part of your analysis or thematic analysis, is comparing the experiences, comparing what people said in your data. So you can also do that here, because we can look, for example, in one of these types and just ask it to give me these quotes, because remember, it's based this analysis or this matrix coding query, this table, on the coded transcripts. It's transcripts that it also coded before. So this is exactly what I did later. So I asked it to give me quotes. Now show me all the quotes for physical threat and abuse for ADHD participants. And it gave me 2 quotes that it had for ADHD participants, and it showed me which transcripts they come from, which is crucial. Again, I talk about it a lot. I talk about it in my previous video where I talk about using Claude for thematic analysis. It's absolutely crucial to be able to have this audit trail, to be able to trace everything back. So you have your final results, your final themes, and you have to be able to trace it back to the original source, to the original quotes. This is important. If you are not able to do that, this is not a good analysis. Otherwise, you have strong arguments for why using this tool, using ChatGPT, still results in a strong analysis, because it's transparent, it's valid, and you can provide audit trails for every step of the process. So it definitely looks good, this output generated by ChatGPT. Like I said, you can definitely use Claude or any other AI for it, but now we want to be sure that it's actually a good job, because we never know. Sometimes AI claims something, as you know, sometimes it shows something and then it actually turns out that it's not true or it's made up. So we definitely want to be sure that this matrix coding query is actually true, that it's actually counting well, that it's actually coding well, that it's showing us the real insights from our data. So for this, I developed an experiment, a quick experiment, just to compare just how accurate this matrix coding query conducted by ChatGPT is compared to what I did manually in NVivo. So to do this experiment, I did the same process as I just described. So I asked ChatGPT to code each transcript, except that I did that after I already coded transcripts. As I showed you in NVivo, I had my codes, my initial codes here, my focus coding. Again, if you're not sure about different stages, feel free to watch my other videos where I explain why they exist and why I do that. But basically, we had some codes already from NVivo. And what I did this time, I asked it to code my transcripts that I'm uploading just like I did before, except that I pasted my coding from NVivo. So I said, just choose from these codes, just use these codes and code this data. The reason I did that is because the previous query that I showed you is based on the coding that it developed, that it independently developed. This time I want to use the same codes that I used in NVivo, because I wanted to code that data with these codes, then run a matrix coding query. So we're actually comparing 2 outputs based on the same coding and the same data. And as you can see, it followed my instructions. It coded the data with the exact same codes that I already developed for NVivo, and I did that for all 4 transcripts again. And when I was done, I again asked it to run a matrix coding query for these specific codes. So I just selected, highlighted the codes, so different types of abuse, which are exactly the same codes that I used here. So every single one of these types of abuse. So I was just more detailed this time, and I just narrowed down the whole prompt and narrowed down everything that I wanted to do. And as a result, it developed a matrix coding query for the same codes that I used for this query in NVivo. And generally, it does look good. If you look at it, there are some differences. So you can see, for example, that there is social inclusion at the bottom, there is 2, and there is compared to 5 for autism. Here we have social inclusion or exclusion, we have 1 compared to 2. So there is a difference. Then we have gaslighting and manipulation. So the major difference is 6 compared to 7. And here gaslighting and manipulation is 3 compared to 4. So on one hand, you may think something is not quite right. There are different numbers here. I have several zeros here. For example, for making assumptions, there is 0. And here we have making assumptions. And it's actually a much bigger number. But the thing is, and how it works and why this is happening is that, if anything, ChatGPT went and did it in a slightly more detail than I did it, because there are many of these codes, they are quite descriptive and they are quite detailed, and they kind of overlap. So for example, gaslighting overlaps with verbal abuse. So in my attempt to coding, it could have been more detailed because I had them separately, but almost every coded extract that I coded as gaslighting could also and probably should have also been coded as verbal abuse. I was doing it quickly, so I didn't have so many overlaps. So I actually believe that it did the process well. And you can see as a proof of that, you can see that general trends are the same. Like I said, social exclusion, for example, is higher for people with autism. The numbers are slightly different, but the trend is the same. So social exclusion is higher for people with autism in the original attempt, in NVivo matrix coding query. So in general, I do think that it did well. Despite these seeming differences, the trends are the same, the proportions, the balance is fairly the same. And like I said, upon closer inspection, I realized that, if anything, it's me who missed some of the parts of this data because I was doing it quickly just for this video. So I would definitely recommend it. As I said, my opinion, I still use NVivo. I prefer to use NVivo. It's my manual tool. I feel like I'm more in control of the data. But if you don't have access to it, you can definitely use one of these tools.